Hello and welcome to the podcast. Today's podcast episode is going to be a I don't know, part four, part five. Honestly, I've lost track. But we're going to continue with podcasting, with content marketing, and establishing a personal brand so that you can grow your sales. So, for those of you who've been listening to the series, this particular series, it's based on the conversations that I've been having with a podcast listener. We will call him Shino Rambo. Of course, not his real name. Now, the reason why I'm calling him Shino Rambo, I can't remember. But anyway, so this is the conversation with Shino Rambo. Who wants to start a podcast. He's in the financial services and advisory space, and he and his business partners are hoping to start with a podcast to be able to break into that segment, break into that market. So, like I said, this is a part four or part five, maybe even a part six, where we've been looking at different matters arising in his own particular circumstance, for wanting to start a podcast for the business, just in case there's any other person who is listening to the podcast right now who is also considering something similar for your business. So that's what we're doing. So we're talking all things podcasting, content marketing, establishing a personal brand, and growing your sales. Now, apologies because today is a Tuesday. For those of you who are regular listeners, the house gets clean on Tuesdays, so there's going to be some noise in the background. And then, of course, NEPA is misbehaving as usual. So all my neighbors are blasting generator up and down. So in case you hear any noise coming in through the recording. Now, this is your first time of listening to the podcast. My name is Tabishima Ayede. I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant, and I'm your host. Every day, I show up here trying to give you all some business goodness. We try and solve some business problems, especially from a sales perspective. So that's what we do every day. So if you love this kind of stuff and you'd love to connect with me, then you can send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. So if you want to be like Shino Rambo and get in touch, and let's see if we can talk about your business situation, that's the phone number, 080-6466-2140. Now, for those of you who do reach out and you want me to help you solve one or two business problems, I have absolutely no problem with giving advice for free. Just make sure you say so clearly in the first message that you send that you are looking for free business advice. And if you're looking for free business advice, that is not a problem. We will schedule a time, but I will answer one question and one question only. If you want us to go in depth, if you want us to do a deep dive, if you want us to work on a number of problems, like for instance, somebody who reached out, they are an licensed distributor or implementation partner. Now, Odoo, is one of the free CRM solutions that I've been talking about in the podcast, because I've always been talking about how if you want to grow your business and you want to increase your sales, you need a CRM solution. That is a customer relationship management tool. That is a thing in your business that helps you keep track of all the conversations that you're having with your potential customers. Who are you talking to? Which of the customers are you talking to right now? What are the possible deals that you have in the pipeline? What was the last conversation that you had with this person? What is the next conversation that you should have? When you have this conversation, what are the issues that you're supposed to be discussing? Is there anybody that you're having a conversation with that there's something pending on your own end? So the deal is not moving because you haven't done one or two things. The customer relationship tool helps you keep track of all these things. And so we need it for our business. Now, of course, over here, I talk about free solutions a lot because I don't want people to give me an excuse to say I don't have money, which is also the reason why I answer one question for free. Again, the number is 080-6466-2140. Call, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message. Let's schedule a time and I'll answer your one question. So, I've been talking about Odoo a lot. But Omo, I goof. Seriously. Apparently, Odoo, yes, there's a free version, but apparently there's a paid version as well. I thought everything was, all free. So there's a free version, there's a paid version. Then I also thought that Odoo was an African company. But this guy is telling me that Odoo is a Swiss company. Abi? I think Switzerland or something. So anyway, let me go and check so that next time I'll be giving you guys a half-baked information. But for those of you who have tried Odoo, and maybe you tried it and you saw that you have to pay, don't worry, there's a free version. Just keep asking around and you get links to the free version. But apparently, it's not the African company that I thought it was. So again, it's ODOO. It's a free. Actually, what they do is ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning Tool. So all kinds of things, CRM, accounting, blah blah blah. As in, there's plenty, all the things that they do. But for the purposes of this podcast, if you search them out, just go and look for CRM. CRM. Where was I? So I was talking about how, I offer one question for free. I answer one question for free. So this guy who is an Odoo implementation partner, he reached out. He said he wants free advice, and that's not a problem. So we've scheduled a call, and we've got that going. So if you want to be like Shinorambo, who has asked some questions, if you want to be like Odoo guy, who has scheduled a free session, reach out. The number is 080-6466-2140. All right. Where was I? So, podcasting, content marketing, establishing a personal brand to grow your sales. I've already defined all those key terms before, so there's no need to go into everything in depth. Podcasting is just a radio show that is delivered over the internet in a simple sense. I'm sure you already know because you're listening to the podcast. But for those of you who are discovering this for the first time, maybe you're listening on YouTube. That's what a podcast is. Technically speaking, a podcast needs to have an RSS feed, but I'm not going to get into all of that. Then, content marketing. That is when you put out valuable content all over the internet. Now, when we say valuable, we don't mean valuable from your own point of view. We mean valuable from your customer's point of view. Now, I currently have over 4,200 subscribers on Spotify alone. I can't track on the other platforms. Now, the reason why 4,000 of you are subscribing and you people listen to me almost on a daily, because I met someone who found the podcast last week, and the guy said that the first time he found my podcast, he said he listened to 7 episodes straight. And I was shocked because, my episodes ain't short. Because I do sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes 1 hour, and the guy listened to 7 straight. So the reason why people keep coming back again and again and again when they find this podcast is because I'm dropping value according to you, not according to me. I don't just come and talk about stuff that I want to talk about. Okay, well, yes, it is stuff I want to talk about, but it's also things that you find valuable. You deem it valuable because it's helping you grow your business. It's helping to arrange 1 or 2 things. So that is what content marketing is about. You're putting out valuable content, valuable according to the customer. And the hope is, if you continue to do that, people engage, you start having conversations, and then from there, you're able to close 1 or 2 business deals. That's the idea behind content marketing. And that is the reason why whenever we talk about content, putting content online, I keep on saying, forget all this entertainment stuff. Now, if you're funny naturally, or, you're sexy as hell, and you know how to dance, no problem. Be funny and be dancing, so long as you have a plan. Because all those people that we're looking at on social media, the social media influencers, the funny ones, Brain Jotter, he looks like he's an imbecile, Abby. But the guy has a plan, a serious plan. Look at the amount of money that this guy is making. Endorsements. Any small thing you see, a car company is coming out, they're endorsing. Fintech companies in Nigeria are launching, and they're reaching out to Brain Jotter to create adverts and stuff like that. Same thing with Mr. Macaroni. You know that this company, what's it called? Bicano that used to make generator. They've been making some very sick cars, like fine cars. If you see their Jeeps, very sweet cars. I've been seeing them all over Abuja, Minkano product. And then lo and behold, I was watching Mr. Macaroni, and it's this video where he went to go and see one of his side chicks, and then he came out from one of those Mikano Jeeps, correct Mikano Jeep, the one that is black and it has red detailing on the side. The car is mad. The car looks angry, like a correct car. So now that he came out, he saw the side chick, and what's that thing he says again? What does he say again? I can't remember anyway. So he saw one side piece, he decided to toast her. Then that's how the boot just opened from the inside. And then it was his wife, Mr. Macaroni's wife. Then she came out and then she slapped her husband, that's Mr. Macaroni, and then she started attacking the side chick and blah, blah, blah. I know all of us will be laughing. You say, Mr. Macaroni, ha, 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 ha. But if you look clearly, that is what we call product placement. These people are releasing new cars into the market, and they know that Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai, Honda, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, that these people already have a hold in the Nigerian market. They've been here for years. So what are these people doing? They're going and paying Nigerian influencers. Product placement. Put my product in your video. Take this money. That's what they're doing. I looked at that video. I say, is this how people are making money? See how Macron is making money. Serious money. Anyway, so if you're one of those entertainment guys, don't just be making videos for the fun of it. They know what they're doing. They have a plan. There's a plan behind all that foolishness and jumping up and down and the stupid dances and the twerking and everything. There's a plan. So if you're talented and you know the plan, then get on that level. But if you don't know, then stop all this jumping, dancing, twerking, making jokes and trends and everything. Start producing educational content, my friend. That is the best chance that you have of breaking out. That's your best chance because you're doing something valuable. Somebody will listen to you and say, oh, so there's actually somebody valuable. There actually is somebody knowledgeable on this thing in Nigeria. That's how you begin to make your reputation. And besides, everybody wants to be like Mr. Macaroni, like Brain Jotta, and like all these other people. So everybody is trying to do the funny thing right now. Guess how many people are trying to do the educational thing? That is precisely the reason why, when you checked, you only found 2 people. There's just me, my own podcast, and then there's Paul Fo. Apart from the 2 of us, who else again? Who? Everybody else is trying to do that funny stuff. And then you only have 2 Niger boys trying to do this thing. It'll be a while before other people wake up and start trying to catch up with us. So, whatever your field is, and that's why I think what Shinorambo is doing is really, really smart. Coming into the wealth advisory game, and then wanting to start with a podcast, so long as he has the right expectations, because podcast cannot help you to hammer immediately. But that's why I think what he's doing is smart. He's trying to do long form content, valuable content, not quick tips on Instagram and quick tips on TikTok and all whatnot, quick financial advice. A podcast that people come and listen to and spend time with him, cultivate a relationship, and after a while, somebody will send him a message and say, oh boy, what do you think about investing in crypto? What do you think about investing in this? What do you think about investing in that? And then that is how conversations start. And forgive me, I went on a rant. I haven't even started addressing the content for the day. I say content, the question or the topic for the day. So basically, that's podcasting, that's content marketing. Of course, you engage in all these activities, you establish a personal brand. But remember, the goal is always to grow sales. I repeat, some of you are not jiving, you're not understanding. The goal is always to grow sales. When you see Brain Jotta doing Go challenge and all those funny things that you're doing, the guy is growing sales. That is somebody's father that you're looking at. He's paying school fees, he's, international travel, everything. Some of you look at and think that this guy is so fun. You think he's being a fool. No. It is about sales. It's about money. Let's not lose sight of that. And don't worry, you're not being a greedy bastard. We live in a world, unfortunately, that has scarce resources. And in a world with scarce resources, you need a medium of exchange. The medium of exchange that exists, excuse me, on this planet, in this solar system, is money. So we need it. It's just that simple. All right. Now, so like I said, now, in my conversations with Shinorambo, there are a couple of things that came up. And one of them was content calendar. Because I asked Shinorambo, I said, how far now? What's the content calendar like? And then what he responded to me was, he told me that he has about 10 to 15 episodes already pre-recorded. And his plan is to release 2 episodes every single week. So what he has done, starting out the podcast, is he recorded, well, first of all, he said 10 to 15. I will clarify because I don't like those kind of wide ranges. If somebody is giving me range, when we're talking about thousands or hundreds, I can understand. If somebody says, I think I have maybe 110 or 115, I can understand. Or somebody saying, I think I have maybe 1,100 or maybe 1,300. I can understand. But on a small number like this, 10 to 15, it's not that hard now. It's either you have, 13 to 15 or you have 10 to 12. But 10 to 15, I don't know. But let's just assume that the guy has 15 episodes locked and loaded. If you're recording two every single week, releasing two every single week, that means he has enough for 7 weeks. And that is beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. It's beautiful. Because this thing that he's doing, some people call it pre-recording, obviously. Some people call it batching. What that means is you're working on your podcast episodes or you're working on your content, and then you gather all of them together. You record them like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then be releasing them small, small. Some other people call it sequencing. So whether you call it pre-recording, batching, sequencing, whatever it is you want to call it, like I say on this podcast, the name is not important. On this podcast, we don't fight about names, right? On social media, people fight about names all the time. This technique is wrong, blah, blah, blah. Then by the time you look at it, you will see that these people are all saying the same thing. They're just using different names. So over here, we don't waste time. We don't fight over names. You hear me? If I catch one of you on the internet fighting about names, I will disown you. If you say, Tavishima, that's my guy, that's my nigga, I'll say, I don't know you. I'll say, I don't know you. So we don't fight over names. All right? So, what we do is the principle, the substance. We do the substance. Whether you call it pre-recording, whether you call it batching, whether you call it sequencing, doesn't matter. It is good because it keeps you consistent when you're on this podcasting game, when you're on this content marketing game. So whether it's a podcast, if you can be pre-recording, batching, sequencing, is good. If what you're doing is newsletter, no problem. If you can be pre-writing, if you can be batching, if you can be sequencing, it's all good. Whether on a blog post, if you can be pre-writing, be batching, be sequencing, it's all good. Because this batching, this pre-whatever, it will keep you consistent. Because consistency, that's the thing where they kill most of us. You start and then you stop. You do one step forward, two step backward. You release 3 episodes and then you sleep for 1 month and then you come back again, redrop 2 episodes. Meanwhile, while you're misbehaving like this, people are just moving. People go, they move. So if I wasn't consistent with this thing, for instance, you listen to this podcast now, I disappear for like 3 months. What do you think you're going to do? You already think that this content is valuable. You need your fix. You're looking for good stuff. You go, they search up and down. Like, which other Niger guy is out there? And then lo and behold, you will find another guy. And what will happen? You will move. When I come back in 3 months, I'll not be like, where my subscribers? Where they? They have all gone. All of them. All of you will move. No loyalty. So that's the reason why, if you can be consistent like me, okay, well, I'm not really consistent to be honest, because my goal is to do this every day. But body no be wood. So sometimes I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I wake up Thursday and I say, no be me, key Jesus. I'll just relax. I won't do anything on Thursday. Then maybe wake up and then record on Saturday, Sunday. But the good thing is, because I'm trying to be here every single day, know how, every week you hear from me. Every single week. For the last 6 years, you hear from me. As long as I'm in good health, you continue to hear from me. So if you can't be consistent, then they pre-record, they batch, they sequence, whatever it is, it's good. It will keep you consistent. Consistency keeps people with you. If people like listening to your show every time they're at the gym and they can count on the fact that, I'm at the gym now, is there new content, they will stay with you. If people listen to your podcast every single Monday, 8 o'clock, and you have new content available every single Monday, 8 o'clock, they will stay with you. So consistency is key. However, the question that I asked Shinorambo was content calendar. I didn't ask Shinorambo about pre-recording and batching. So pre-recording and batching is good because it will keep you consistent. But content calendar is what will stop you from running out of ideas over the long term. Some people will say, which one will be content calendar again? It's very simple. Content is what? Any picture, any voice recording, any video, any photo, any graphic, any whatever that you put on the internet for the purpose of promoting your business. That is content. Now, calendar. What is calendar? Calendar is just, something that helps you track day of the week. Abi? So content calendar just means something that is helping you track what are you going to be writing? What are you going to be posting? What are you going to be recording? What are you going to be designing for today, for this week, for next week, for next month? My own opinion, everybody should start with a content calendar for the whole year. Some of you will say, but listen to where I'm going from. Some of you say it's extreme. It is not extreme. This creativity thing is not easy. There is nobody that is born with ideas just flowing out of there every day, if you understand what I'm saying. You understand? It's not like eating food, like you eat food and then you poop. So every day, it's just coming out. It's not like that. That's why we need a content calendar. To come up with a content calendar, you actually have to sit down and reason a few things. The first thing where you go reason, you say, who is my audience? Who am I targeting? After that, the next thing you reason is, what am I going to be telling them when I hop on this microphone, or when I switch on the camera, or when I begin the design in Canva? Another thing you reason is, what are the key topics, the main things that I should be talking about or that these people want to hear? After you reason those things, you now start to break it down on a week level or on a month level. So, like for Shinarambo now, maybe he can say crypto. That crypto they reign now. So therefore, okay, I'm recording this thing in February of 2026. So planning ahead now, he can say all of March of 2026 will be about crypto in Nigeria. So that would be the theme for March. Then part of the content calendar will now say week 1. What would they say about crypto? Maybe week 1 will be intro to crypto. Then maybe week 2 will be, I don't know, crypto communities and crypto exchanges in Nigeria. Then maybe week 3 might be things to look at to avoid risky crypto investments. And then maybe week 4 might be how to harmonize investing in crypto with your traditional investment portfolio. Something like that. That's your content calendar. March, what are we saying? June, what are we saying? July, what are we saying? August, September, October, what are we saying? Then inside that June, July, March, inside that month, week 1, what are we saying? Week 2, what are we saying? Week 3, what are we saying? Week 4, what are we saying? Now sit down and do this activity. AI tools are very good for helping you sort this thing out. Come up with this thing for 1 year. This is the reason why I say 1 year. Sometimes you wake up and then you look at March and you say, why did I even think of crypto? Why did I even think Nigerians are into crypto? Crypto is a useless idea. You now use your pencil and then you cancel March. Pia. But the thing is, since you are prepared for a whole year, guess what? You still have 11 months to look at. That's the reason why I say 1 whole year. Because sometimes you wake up and you ask yourself, what was I thinking? And you get rid of some ideas. And then sometimes things happen and some things become no longer relevant, because you can wake up and say, I want to record crypto as an investment tool for Nigerians. That's what you want to record for the month of March. But then if you wake up one day and then central bank say, from today henceforth, crypto is illegal in Nigeria, you can't record the episode again now. Events don't supersede them. Something has happened and this thing is no longer relevant. So you now have to cancel crypto. Pia. But then guess what? You still have 11 months to fall back on. So, I'm not being maniacal when I say get 1 year. It is necessary so that you never run out of ideas. So that's the question that I asked Shinorambo. So, if you're in this Shinorambo situation and you're talking to someone like me and the person says content calendar and you start telling him that, I have this number of episodes pre-recorded, it's all well and good. It's good that you pre-record, but still, content calendar. Show me your calendar. The thing gives you freedom. It gives you confidence. Like me, for instance, what I do basically is I started off by just answering questions that I thought were essential. After a while, people started asking me questions, especially when I'm giving speeches during trainings and things like that. So I started writing those questions down. Before, what I used to use was Evernote. If you open my Evernote now, I have over 850 questions I haven't even tackled. 850. Now, guess what? Do you think that gives me confidence or not? It gives me confidence that I would never run out of anything to say. Think about it. This is the beauty of a content calendar, even if you're not following it. Supreme confidence. You can wake up and say, oh yeah, where's my calendar? What's next? So even if today everything dry up and I don't know what to say again, all I have to do is just open Evernote. There you have it. 850 questions. I'll start from the top. I'll start working my way down. And assuming that I'm doing it one every single day, and of course, body not be wood, so I don't do it every single day. But assuming I clock one every single day, 850. Now how many years be that? It's not 2 years and something. Can you see why everybody needs a content calendar? So whether it is newsletter that you want to be newslettering, whether it's podcast that you want to be podcasting, whether it's a blog that you want to be blogging, whether it is video on YouTube you want to be videoing, whether it is TikTok that you want to be TikToking, whether it's Snapchat that you want to be Snapchatting, content calendar, please. This is a business, so let us get serious about this. I hope people are listening. It's a business. It's like work. It's like 9 to 5. Some of you say, oh, we're self-employed, everything, relax and take things easy. No. Look at our friends who work in Zenith Bank and all whatnot. They show up on time. They take their job seriously. So yes, we're entrepreneurs and we're self-employed. But we need to treat this thing as if it's 9 to 5. Show up and do your work. So, content calendar, please. Non-negotiable. Any other thing you're doing, no problem. But content calendar is a non-negotiable. If you run into me in person and we begin the yarn and we are flowing, and I say, where's your content calendar? You say you don't have one. I will deny you. If you introduce me to somebody and say, this is my friend, I will say, I know you not. Get thee behind me. So get your content calendar. Then, if you notice, he had 10 to 15 episodes. That Shino Rambo has 10 to 15 episodes. And the guy is dropping them 2 every single week. That's not a bad idea, to be honest. But the thing is, for most people, I like to say, start with a cadence that you can maintain. It's a lot better to start and be doing it once a week, and then you announce to your followers that, followers, you know what? I'm going to be doing it 2 or 3 times a week. They'll be happy. They'll say, yay. They'll be happy for you. It's better to do that than to start 4 times a week and then now tell people, you know what? I'm going to scale down now to 1. So start with the one that is easy first. Now for Shino Rambo, I don't know his whole setup. I don't know if he has a content calendar. I don't know what the production process is like for him. But I was concerned because Shino Rambo, his podcast is high production value. High production value. Because for me, there's no production value on this podcast. I just grab my phone and I start talking. It's that simple. That is why sometimes, I'm talking and then, you hear my children fighting in the background. Because my own is low production value. I just make sure that I just make sure that the thing we're talking about, it makes sense. That's my own focus. But then Shino Rambo's podcast has high production value. The thing starts with some nice, cool jazz. And then when he enters on the microphone, it's nice and mellow, very smooth, very professional. Everything is properly edited. No mistake. On this podcast, you can hear me coughing. In fact, one day I was recording, I just let out a loud mess. And I was like, hi. All these people didn't hear that. I said, it's also a good thing that this thing is audio because they won't smell anything. But for his own podcast, no mistake, no nothing. Good music, good pacing, good scripting, everything. You can see he did a good job, professional job. Now, the problem is this, for those of you who do podcasts with high production value. Any podcast will get high production value. That thing takes time, man. Takes time. There are some people that take 1 whole week to produce 1 hour's worth of audio footage. Some of you say, no, really, I'm being real with you. Especially if you want video to not enter the mix. There are some people, depending on the level of production value, there are some people who need 1 whole week. Not, Monday to Sunday. I mean, like Monday to Friday. 1 week to produce 1 hour's worth of good quality. So if that's the case, and you're using 5 days to produce 1 hour's worth of quality, and you're batching and putting out twice a week, it means that what you're putting out in 1 week, actually, you need 2 weeks worth of time to produce that kind of content. So basically, what I'm just trying to say is that for someone who is in Shino Rambo's situation, you might quickly run out of all the content you have. So if you dey batch, give yourself some lead time and just be batching accordingly. So let's say you're recording, you're batching it, you're making it 10 episodes every single month. Then you'll be releasing it once a week. And then let's say you calculate and that gives you a lead time of, let's say, 6 weeks. So what that means basically is if something happens, malaria catch you, you travel home, or, let's say you get married, you go for honeymoon, that kind of thing. So long as you come back within 6 weeks, you'll be able to produce enough content to cover the next batch. So if you're like Shinarambo and your podcast is high production value, give yourself some lead time, man. So the fact that you don't record 15, 20, 30, you feel enthusiastic and you'll be dropping 3 every week, 4 every week, 5 every week. But, calm down, calm down. Because production time, day, lead times, day. You quickly run out and then you wake up one day and say, my 30 podcasts, they don't finish. Of course they are finished now. You're feeling like a superstar because you have 30. So you are sharing 5 every week. But I share 5 every week. You only have 6 weeks worth. And the last time you recorded anything was 1 month ago. So of course you're in a bind because you've woken up now. You're in the habit of sharing once every day. But now you only have 2 weeks worth of content available. So how you go do it? So start with a cadence that you can maintain. Look at your production schedule for those of you who do high production value. And yes, by the way, in case you haven't figured it out, this is precisely the reason why I can be on the mic every single day if I choose. Because all I do is I pick up my phone, I spit some knowledge, and then I hit stop recording and then I upload. That simple. If you see me with a 30-minute episode like today, recording time was exactly 30 minutes. Then maybe coming up with the title and then all of that might be an extra maybe 15 minutes and then upload because internet is very poor in Nigeria. So bottom line, if you see 30 minutes content here, total production time, everything 45 minutes flat. If internet was really, 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 really bad that day, okay, maybe 1 hour and I'm done. So that's the reason why I can be here every day. If I had to sit down, let's select music, let the lighting be okay, let everywhere be perfectly quiet. Let's go and rent out the studio space. Let's produce a script. We vet the script. Then we do research, make sure that there's no error in the script, which is absolutely important because, before I came and I told you people that Odo was an African company. Only to hear now, somebody correct me and say, oh boy, you the Mizian. Odo is actually Swedish. So that's the reason why scripting is important because it's from the scripting that you now discover the error. You write something and you be like, this thing makes sense. Or your production assistant will look at it and say, boss, it'd be like, say, by the time you should go and check 1 or 2 things, you now know that, okay, error is here, and then you straighten it out. So, start with the cadence you can maintain, and just remember that for most people, there's some people who love these things. Like my brother loves audio stuff. We used to be music producers back in the day in uni. Yeah, I know, we were all over the place. I know. So, where was I? Some people love these things and can do overnight, and but if you're not one of these people, it actually feels like it's a full-time job. So don't start twice weekly. Start with a cadence that you can maintain. Now, I will stop here because there are still other things to talk about when it comes to podcasting, content marketing, establishing a personal brand, and trying to grow your sales. Like I said, the story is plenty. That's the reason why I didn't make it one episode. So we still have some things to talk about regarding personal branding and visuals. What else? And then I want to give you guys an example about how all of these things work live. An example. Because one of my students, I can't even call her my student. She's actually my former classmate, and she told me she wanted to start a podcast and she wanted to talk to me. I was like, hey, cool, no problem, let's talk. And I told her, look, this idea will be brilliant. Run with it. That's why I can't even call her a student, because when I said run with it, she heard me. As I said run with it, she ran. I didn't have to talk to her twice. And today, where her podcast is, I won't lie. Even me, I did jealous her. I say, am I not the master? And I taught her, is she not the student? See her on the international stage. Me, I still there for Niger. So, I'll also give an example about how this thing can work. I'll talk a bit about her podcast, and it's a live something. So you will get to see that all these things I'm saying, no be theory. It's live and it's practical. And I even give you her podcast so you can go and have a look at it. And you can see how all this is supposed to work when everything is put together. So if by the time we're done with this particular series and you want to start your podcasting journey and you feel like you want me to be a part of that journey, it's not a problem. Like I said, if you want free advice, it's not a problem. Just say so. Excuse me, I'm down with that. Just call, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. Then state it clearly in the message that what you're looking for is free advice. But by the time we finish with our free advice now, if you want us to go in depth, you want us to work on something, your positioning or your messaging, we need to figure out your ICP for the podcast, your target audience. You want us to figure out your cadence. You want us to figure out recording technology. You want us to figure out anything, whatever it is. For that one, we'll have to book a session, and then we'll talk. And I have sessions available in time blocks. We can have hourly sessions. We can have weekly sessions. We can have monthly sessions. So far, I don't do quarterly sessions because I haven't started working on projects that require anything that grand. The closest I would have done was somebody who wanted to start off a refinery. That's a small scale refinery for producing marine engine oil. But anyway, I never heard from the guy again. So that one I had definitely would have been planning this thing in quarterly. Like, okay, first quarter this is our focus, second quarter this is our focus, third quarter this is our focus. But for now, monthly, weekly, hourly, yeah, we have options available. So I'd love to hear from you guys. And don't worry, I'm not going to start asking you for money immediately. Just tell me you want free advice. You can call, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you all some other time. Oh, by the way, today's the day for the radio show. The radio show is every single Tuesday on Radio Maria 91.3 FM. So for those of you who are based in Abuja and you want to have a chat with your boy, you want to do it live, you call in on Radio Maria. So it's 91.3 FM. That's the dial. I'll be calling out the radio number to call for the radio station, of course, on the radio show. And for those of you who are based, in environs, you're in Nasarawa State, you can pick us up. You're in Niger State, you can still hear us. Where else? All these areas around here. But if you just check the Radio Maria end site, I think it's radiomaria.ng or something like that, you can live stream this. So there's some people who listen to the show from the UK. And last week on my radio show, I got one caller from Canada. I was like, oh yeah, making progress. Those people in diaspora are now hearing me because those are the people that have serious money. Nigerians, you want to charge them, you say, well, I bring 400K. They could be in the shake, they'll run, they'll ghost, they will miss. But at least all those people are abroad. If you tell somebody, bring $500, to them, $500 is just change. By the time you convert that thing to Niger, to Naira, that's good money. So yes, I'm glad the Canadians are now listening. So, so share this podcast, let people know abroad so I can be collecting dollar as well. All right, so that's it. I'll catch you all some other time.